Hey there, I am Kathy Brown, a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and certified personal trainer, and I work with active women over 40 to help you find nutrition and wellness solutions that fit your lifestyle and work for your body so that you can boost energy, boost metabolism, feel great, and stay active for life. All right, so in true Kathy Brown fashion, I am a little late recording this video. The month of January was Thyroid Awareness Month, but of course we're not in January anymore. We're in February now, and it's okay though because I feel like thyroid health is something that we should think about all the time, year round, especially as women who are over 40, perhaps going through those hormonal changes. We're more prone to have some of these thyroid hormone issues that I'm going to talk about in just a second. But first, let's talk about what your thyroid is and what it does. So, your thyroid is an endocrine gland that's located in your neck. It produces hormone that regulates your metabolism. So, your metabolism basically is your body's way, its process for breaking down food and producing energy. And so we really want to make sure that thyroid is functioning well and properly. There are two types of thyroid dysfunction, or two main types. It's hyperthyroid and hypothyroid. So hyperthyroid is where your thyroid is overactive. It's producing too much of that thyroid hormone. And some of the symptoms of that is you have increased heart rate, weight loss, sensitivity to heat, maybe sweatiness more so than normal, jitteriness, inability to sleep, and bulging eyes sometimes. Hypothyroid, on the other hand, is underactive thyroid, and this quite literally has almost the opposite symptoms. It includes decreased heart rate, weight gain, fatigue, sensitivity to cold, dry skin, that's a unique one, and depression. So it's really important to stay on top of that thyroid. And if you have clinical hyper or hypothyroid, then there are medications that you would be prescribed. Typically, they're diagnosed using a blood test for TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormone. Unfortunately, a lot of providers stop there. TSH basically will indicate whether or not there's any problems with the thyroid itself, whether or not it's producing enough or too much of that thyroid hormone. There are two types of thyroid hormones that are produced by your thyroid. There's T4, as it's commonly known, or thyroxine. And the next one is T3, and I have to read this one. It's triiodothyronine. And that is the active form of your thyroid hormone. So that's the one that's really going to manage that metabolism. So after the thyroid produces T4, which is most of the hormone that your thyroid produces. It does produce some T3 as well, but your body has the ability to take that T4 and convert it to T3, so it produces more of the T4. And that conversion is really where nutrition and lifestyle play a role. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. So some of the nutrients that you really want to make sure that you're getting in your diet on a daily basis to support that thyroid include a variety of vitamins and minerals. So the first one, and it's actually in the name of one of our thyroid hormones, is iodine. Iodine can be found in iodized salt or in shellfish, seafood, seaweed. If you don't eat seafood or seaweed, or if you use one of the alternative salts, like maybe kosher salt or Himalayan salt, you may not be getting enough iodine in your diet. And we'll talk about the recommendations for that in just a second, but keep that in mind. The next one is iron. Iron is abundant in most meats. It's the highest in liver or organ meats. And you can also, if you're not a meat eater, you can get it from beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, and spinach. Selenium is another mineral, and you can get selenium from Brazil nuts, peanuts, shellfish, and tuna. Next up is magnesium. Magnesium is another mineral, and it can be found in basically any fruit, vegetable, beans, nuts, seeds, anything that's grown in the soil. Magnesium has gotten a lot of attention recently because deficiencies are on the rise, particularly with women over 40. And so it's important to make sure you're getting plenty of the magnesium in your day, and pay attention to the symptoms of magnesium deficiency to see if you think you might need a supplement. If you're questioning that, I actually have a blog post on my website that talks a lot more about what to look out for. And my website's kathybrownnutrition.com, so go check that out. Also really important for that thyroid function is a few of your B vitamins. So specifically B2, which is riboflavin, B3, which is niacin, and B6. And you can find those vitamins in animal proteins, so liver, beans, nuts, salmon, brown rice, eggs, fortified cereals. A lot of cereals, if they say they're fortified, they're going to have some of those B vitamins added in, as well as other things like vitamin D. You can also get it from nutritional yeast. And if you're not familiar with nutritional yeast, I encourage you to try it out. I add it to like soups and sauces, top pastas with it. It's got kind of like a nutty, cheesy flavor. All right, next up is vitamin E, which you can find in nuts, seeds, kind of going back to the nuts. Almonds are known to have high levels of vitamin E. Fish, avocado, red peppers. Vitamin C, which we all know we can find in citrus, but you can also get it from peppers and strawberries and some other fruits and vegetables. Vitamin D is found mostly through exposure to sunlight. Your skin will produce it when you are exposed to direct sunlight. But you can also get it through some foods as well, including mushrooms, salmon, egg yolks, and those fortified cereals that we talked about. All right, so basically what it comes down to, the key is to get a varied diet of whole foods. I don't encourage you to go through that list that I just went through and pick out every individual food. Like if you get a good varied diet of whole foods with fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans. If you're a meat eater, get, some of that meat, some seafood, then you should be good. But sometimes, absorption may not be the greatest. So if you're questioning whether or not you may be low on one of these vitamins or minerals, check with your healthcare provider. Specifically iodine, let's go back to that because I called that one out as one of the biggest minerals that's important to thyroid health and is a component of one of those thyroid hormones. It may be a component of both of them, but iodine nonetheless is recommended at a level of 150 micrograms per day for women. This equates to roughly 3/4 of a teaspoon of iodized salt, or 3 cups of milk, 2 cups of yogurt, or 4 sheets of nori, so the dried seaweed nori that you get at the grocery store. You don't want to have too much. It's recommended not to go over 500 micrograms per day. but it's kind of rare to get too much unless you eat just like a ton of any or all of those things that I just listed. If you're questioning whether or not you get enough or too much, you can always chat with your medical provider or dietitian. In addition to those vitamins and minerals, it's also really important to get sufficient calories in your day. Hormone production in general requires energy. And when you don't eat enough calories, when you don't get enough energy, your body conserves energy. And one of the things that it will slow down or even stop is hormone production. So you want to make sure you're getting plenty of calories. And specifically, you want to make sure you're getting enough carbohydrates. I know low carbohydrate diets are all the rage, but your hormones, actually, the thyroid hormones require carbohydrates for conversion from that T4 to T3. And so you want to get plenty of carbohydrates, but excessive carbohydrates can actually overtask your thyroid. So you want to stay in that golden range there of enough but not excessive to keep those thyroid hormones humming and healthy and converting efficiently. All right. Next up, if you suspect that you may not be converting your T4 to T3 sufficiently, and you've already had TSH tested with your doctor, or if you haven't yet had your thyroid checked in the past year and you're about to go see your doctor, I encourage you to go beyond the TSH testing. Like I said, that thyroid stimulating hormone tests whether or not the thyroid itself is producing enough hormone, but it doesn't test whether or not the T4 is converting to T3. And so the way you test for that is with a few additional tests. Okay, you also want to test free T3, free T4, and reverse T3. Now, assuming that your TSH levels are normal, if your free T3 is low or that reverse T3 is high, or you have low free T3 and high free T4, then that means you're not converting very well. And again, that's where nutrition comes into play. But it could also be caused by GI inflammation, or it could be caused by a chronic illness. If you don't have a chronic illness, then I would first look to making sure that diet is dialed in, like we talked about, making sure you're getting plenty of those vitamins and minerals, but also making sure that you're practicing stress relief. And I've talked about in previous videos, but making sure you have those tools for stress management and getting plenty of sleep. And if you maybe have a little bit of concern about your gut microbiome, those bacteria in your gut not necessarily being balanced, then maybe consider a probiotic. But getting plenty of fiber, not too much sugar, and just eating a good, healthful, varied diet, most people can keep that gut health in check. But if you feel like it's kind of gotten out of whack, then maybe consider a probiotic. All right. So that's all I have on thyroid today. Like I said, if you want more information about magnesium, go check out my blog at kathybrownnutrition.com. I also have a great resource on my blog, not on my blog, but on my website, and that lists out essential foods for active women over 40 to boost metabolism. It's just on the homepage of my website up at the top. You can download that for free. It also has tips on how to meal plan to make sure that you're getting plenty of those nutrients in your day. Okay, so that's it for now. Happy thyroid health. Till next time.